There is a hidden power you carry with you every single day. It is not found in your possessions, not in your connections, not even in your talents. It is found in your words. The words you speak carry life or death, freedom or bondage, success or failure. And many of us have unknowingly cursed ourselves with the very language we use. We say, I am not enough. I can't. I will never. It's too late. And without realizing it, we breathe life into our limitations. But if you shift your words, if you declare with conviction, I am capable, I am chosen, I am more than enough, I am destined for greatness, you awaken a reality that had been waiting for you all along. There was once a man who grew up in a home where he was constantly told he would amount to nothing. For years, he believed it. His failures seemed to confirm it. But one day, he began to challenge those voices by speaking new words over himself. Every morning, he looked in the mirror and declared, I am intelligent. I am worthy. I am destined to succeed. At first, he didn't believe the words, but slowly his spirit began to align with his declarations. His decisions shifted, his confidence grew, and his life transformed. What changed? Not his environment, not his past, but his words. Your words shape your inner world, and your inner world shapes everything outside of you. When you speak with intention, you are not merely reciting phrases, you are rewriting the story of your life. Positive affirmations are not about pretending that pain does not exist. They are about refusing to let pain have the final say. They are the conscious choice to call light into darkness, to call strength into weakness, to call victory into struggle. Detachment is key, for affirmations are not about what you feel in the moment, but about the truth of who you are becoming. Even when your emotions resist, your declarations carry authority. You may not see immediate results, but every word is a seed, and in time it will bear fruit. Speak with faith, speak with clarity, and speak with the conviction that your words are not empty. They are instruments of creation. Words are not simply sounds that pass through the air, they are living forces that hold the power to shape reality. Every word spoken carries with it an energy, a vibration, and a creative potential that can either build or destroy. When you speak, you are planting seeds into the soil of your life. Some seeds produce weeds that choke your growth, while others bear fruit that nourishes your destiny. This is why words must never be treated lightly. For the things you repeatedly say about yourself and your life eventually manifest as truth in your experience. Words are not passive, they are active participants in your journey. They shape your beliefs, mold your character, and define the limits of your possibilities. Think about the times you've declared something over yourself in frustration or fear. I will never get through this. I'm not good enough. I'm always failing. These words, though born in moments of weakness, are like curses spoken over your own life. The subconscious mind does not filter what you say, it simply absorbs and works to make your declarations a reality. When you repeatedly say, I can't, your mind shuts down pathways of creativity and possibility. It stops seeking solutions and instead searches for evidence to prove your words true. In this way, your own declarations become the walls of the prison you live in. But the same principle works in reverse. If you speak life, if you declare possibility, if you affirm strength, your words break down barriers and open new doors of opportunity. When you say, I am capable, I am worthy, I am destined to succeed, your subconscious begins to align with these truths. Your thoughts follow the direction of your speech, and your actions begin to reflect the identity you are declaring. Over time, your words rewrite the script of your reality. This is not magic, it is alignment. It is the law of sowing and reaping manifesting itself through the power of language. Consider the way a gardener plants seeds. A tiny seed, invisible, once buried, carries within it the potential for life, beauty, and abundance. The gardener does not see immediate results, but continues to water the soil in faith, knowing that the harvest is inevitable if the seed remains nourished. In the same way, every word you speak is a seed planted into the soil of your spirit. You may not see the results right away, but over time, those words germinate, take root, and bear fruit. If your words are filled with fear, doubt, and negativity, the harvest will reflect the bitterness of those seeds. But if your words are filled with hope, love, and strength, you will reap a harvest of abundance and growth. Science has even affirmed this truth. Studies on the power of language and affirmations have shown that people who regularly practice positive self-talk experience higher confidence, lower stress, and greater achievement. The human brain responds to repetition, and when affirmations are spoken consistently, new neural pathways are created. Old patterns of fear and insecurity are replaced with patterns of courage and self-belief. This is why your words are not merely spiritual tools, but practical ones as well. They literally rewire your brain and reshape the lens through which you experience life. Words also carry a spiritual authority. They transcend what you see in the physical and call forth what exists in the unseen. When you declare, "I am strong in the midst of weakness," you are summoning strength from a deeper place. When you say, "I am whole while still in brokenness," you are aligning yourself with healing that is yet to manifest. This is not denial of reality. It is a declaration of a higher reality. It is understanding that your words are not confined to describing your present, but are designed to create your future. If words are seeds, then the tongue is the hand that plants them, and your life is the garden where they grow. Each day, you have the choice of what seeds to plant. Will you fill your soil with weeds of fear, anger, and defeat? Or will you nurture it with seeds of hope, strength, and victory? What you speak consistently will determine the harvest you reap. This is why intentionality in speech is not optional, but necessary. To live carelessly with your words is to live carelessly with your future. To live with awareness, however, is to step into the divine authority of shaping reality through the language you choose. Your words are not background noise, they are the blueprint of your destiny. To change your life, you must first change your language. To walk into a new season, you must speak new words, because every word you speak is a seed, and every seed carries within it the power to create a reality that either binds you or sets you free. The subconscious mind is like fertile soil that accepts every seed planted within it, whether good or bad, true or false. It does not discriminate, it simply receives, absorbs, and nurtures whatever you feed it consistently. This is why positive affirmations are not just motivational phrases, but powerful tools that can reprogram the deepest layers of your being. Every fear, doubt, or insecurity you wrestle with finds its roots in the subconscious. These beliefs may have been formed by childhood experiences, repeated criticism, or failures that convinced you that you were not capable, not worthy, or not enough. Over time, these hidden convictions become the silent drivers of your behavior, shaping your choices and limiting your potential. Positive affirmations act as the antidote. They are conscious, intentional words designed to replace the toxic programming of fear with the liberating truth of faith. When you declare, "I am capable," even if doubt whispers otherwise, you begin to disrupt the old cycle of limitation. Your subconscious slowly shifts its allegiance from the voice of fear to the voice of possibility. Each time you repeat a positive affirmation, you are chiseling away at the walls of insecurity and building new pathways of confidence. It is a process of unlearning lies and relearning truth until the truth becomes louder than the fear that once controlled you. Consider how a song gets stuck in your head. Even if you did not intend to memorize the lyrics, constant repetition engraves it in your mind until you can recite it without effort. Affirmations work the same way. At first, the words may feel unnatural or forced. You may stand up before the mirror declaring, "I am strong, I am worthy, I am unstoppable," while a part of you silently argues that it isn't true. But with repetition, the subconscious stops resisting. The words settle in and begin to rewrite the inner narrative. Soon, what once felt foreign becomes familiar, and what once seemed impossible begins to feel inevitable. Doubt thrives in silence, but faith thrives in repetition. The mind is always listening, always taking notes, always building evidence for the story you tell it. If you tell your mind that you are a failure, it will magnify every mistake to prove you right. But if you tell your mind that you are growing, learning, and becoming, it will gather evidence to strengthen that truth. Affirmations guide the subconscious to look for opportunities, possibilities, and solutions instead of obstacles. They train your inner vision to see beyond the problem and focus on the promise. This is why so many people who practice affirmations report a tangible shift in their confidence and energy. It is not that their circumstances magically change overnight, but their perception of themselves changes. And perception is powerful because how you see yourself determines how you show up in the world. A person who believes they are unworthy will sabotage opportunities. A person who believes they are powerful will step boldly into rooms they once thought were too great for them. Affirmations create this shift. They transform the inner dialogue, which in turn transforms outward action. But it is important to understand that affirmations are not about wishful thinking. They are about alignment. When you declare, "I am confident," it is not about pretending you never feel fear. It is about aligning your words with the truth that fear does not define you. When you say, "I am successful," it is not about denying your current struggles, but about aligning yourself with the reality you are moving toward. Affirmations invite you to step into the version of yourself that already exists within, but has been buried beneath doubt and fear. This is the divine power of words. They are not merely descriptive, but creative. Positive affirmations rewire the subconscious, turning your thoughts from self-sabotage to self-empowerment. They take what was once a cage of fear and transform it into a platform of faith. And when the subconscious mind begins to believe in your worth, your ability, and your destiny, your outer life inevitably follows, because what you repeatedly declare with your mouth becomes what your mind believes, and what your mind believes becomes the life you live. There is a powerful alignment that happens when your words, thoughts, and actions move in the same direction. Most people live in conflict with themselves. They think one thing, say another, and act in a way that contradicts both. This inner division weakens their energy and scatters their focus, leaving them frustrated and unfulfilled. But when affirmations are spoken consistently and with conviction, they create harmony between the inner and outer world. They shift the way you think, and those thoughts influence the way you feel, and your feelings direct the choices you make. It is a chain reaction that begins with words and ends with transformation. Imagine someone who constantly affirms, "I am disciplined." At first, the words may seem untrue because discipline has not been their strength. But with time, the repetition of that declaration begins to shape their self-image. They start to see themselves as someone capable of discipline. That identity influences their thoughts. Instead of saying, "I can't stick to a routine," they begin thinking, "I can choose consistency." This thought shifts their emotions from shame to determination, and that determination drives action. They wake up earlier, follow through on tasks, and honor commitments. All of it began with an affirmation that rewired their thoughts and pulled their life into alignment. The reason this process is so transformative is because the human spirit craves congruence. When you say something long enough, the mind begins to demand that your life reflect it. Affirmations act as a compass, pointing you toward the direction your actions must follow. They do not only sit in your mouth, they travel into your subconscious, alter your inner beliefs, and then flow outward into behavior. It is not enough to simply wish for a better life. You must speak it, think it, and then act upon it. Affirmations are the doorway that connects the unseen world of thought with the visible world of action. The beauty of affirmations is that they also anchor you in difficult moments. When doubt comes, your mind naturally recalls the words you have rehearsed. When fear rises, your spirit remembers, "I am courageous." This constant alignment between declaration and reality builds resilience. Even when circumstances contradict your words, affirmations remind you of your chosen truth. They create a standard for your life that external situations cannot easily break. Slowly, your identity strengthens and your decisions begin to align with the person you believe yourself to be rather than the person you used to fear you were. Alignment also creates momentum. When your words affirm strength, your thoughts generate courage, and your actions reflect determination, everything begins to move in harmony. This momentum multiplies progress. What once felt impossible becomes natural. Many people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they lack alignment. They say they want success, but speak words of defeat. They dream of progress, but entertain thoughts of failure. They desire transformation, but take actions rooted in fear. Affirmations correct this misalignment by harmonizing your inner dialogue with your outward behavior. It is also important to recognize that this process requires consistency. One seed does not create a forest, and one affirmation does not create transformation. Repetition builds alignment, The more you declare something, the more your thoughts align, and the more your actions follow. Over time, what was once a conscious effort becomes second nature. You no longer struggle to believe in yourself. You simply embody the belief because it has been spoken, rehearsed, and lived into existence. This is why affirmations are so much more than positive words. They are bridges between thought and action, between potential and reality. They turn the invisible into the visible by aligning every part of your being toward a single truth. And when your words, thoughts, and actions stand united, you step into a power that is unstoppable. For nothing is stronger than a life fully aligned with its own declaration. Speaking life is one of the most profound demonstrations of spiritual authority you can exercise. Every word that leaves your mouth is not just communication, it is creation. The moment you speak, you call things forth, either reinforcing the reality you see or summoning a new reality into existence. This is why positive affirmations are far more than motivational slogans. They are declarations that operate on a spiritual level, shaping outcomes that go beyond your immediate circumstances. When you say, I am victorious, even in the midst of struggle, you are not ignoring your present reality. You are speaking into the reality that is waiting to unfold. Your words create alignment between your spirit and the destiny that has been prepared for you. Too often, people speak only according to what they see. They say, I am broke, I am tired, I am hopeless. These words might describe a temporary situation, but they also bind you to that situation by reinforcing it in your spirit. Affirmations, on the other hand, are not about describing life as it is. They are about declaring life as it can and will be. To say, I am strong while you feel weak is not hypocrisy, it is prophecy. You are calling strength from the unseen into the seen. You are exercising authority over the forces that try to keep you bound. The unseen world always responds to words. Just as seeds buried in the ground eventually break through the soil, words spoken in faith eventually manifest in time. When you speak life, you are planting spiritual seeds that will grow into physical results. But if you constantly speak negativity, you are planting weeds that choke out your own potential. This is why you must become a careful guardian of your tongue. The words you release either build your future or dismantle it. They either invite light or empower darkness. It is important to understand that speaking life is not about denying reality, but about choosing which reality you will give authority to. There's the reality of your current circumstances, and there is the reality of your higher calling. When you speak life, you are refusing to give final authority to your circumstances. You are saying, my present does not dictate my future. My words align me with a higher truth. That alignment activates spiritual laws that begin to reorder your steps, draw resources, and create opportunities in harmony with your declarations. Even science affirms the power of spoken words. Studies show that words carry vibrations that can alter mood, mindset, and even physical health. Speaking positive affirmations lowers stress, improves focus, and strengthens resilience. Spiritually, however, this truth goes even deeper. Words act as spiritual commands. When you declare peace, you silence anxiety. When you declare confidence, you dismantle fear. When you declare abundance, you disrupt lack. Words shape energy, and energy shapes reality. Consider the way leaders, prophets, and visionaries throughout history used their words. They spoke with authority, often declaring what seemed impossible at the time. Yet their declarations created momentum that drew others into alignment, turning spoken vision into lived reality. You carry that same authority. Every time you declare who you are becoming, you are sending a command into the unseen, and the universe begins to respond. But this power requires consistency and conviction. A seed spoken once may fall by the wayside, but a seed spoken repeatedly takes root. When you consistently affirm your identity, you reinforce it in the spiritual realm until it becomes unshakable. And once your spirit accepts it as truth, your life begins to mirror it. Speaking life, then, is both a discipline and a demonstration of faith. It is choosing to wield the authority of your words with purpose, knowing that what you declare with conviction today will shape the reality you step into tomorrow. Faith-filled affirmations are the bridge between what you desire and what you ultimately manifest. They are not merely positive phrases, but declarations that carry the weight of belief, conviction, and expectation. To simply repeat words without faith is like planting seeds in barren soil. It lacks the nourishment to grow. But when affirmations are infused with faith, they carry life and energy, pulling unseen realities into the visible world. Faith gives words their power, transforming them from empty statements into spiritual commands that align you with divine intention. When you speak with faith, you are declaring not just what you hope for, but what you already believe to be true in the unseen. Faith-filled affirmations demand that you see beyond your present circumstances and align your words with the higher reality you know exists for you. For example, saying, "I am healed" while still feeling sick is not lying. It is declaring the truth of healing that exists in the spirit and drawing it into your body. Saying, "I am successful" while struggling financially is not denial. It is positioning your spirit to accept success as inevitable, thus attracting the resources and opportunities that match your declaration. Faith requires detachment from immediate outcomes. When you affirm, "I am walking in peace," you must release the need to instantly feel peaceful and trust that the affirmation is already at work within and around you. This detachment is crucial because faith is not measured by how quickly circumstances change, but by how deeply you remain anchored in your belief. Affirmations spoken in faith create shifts in your mindset first, and from there, external reality begins to reflect the new internal truth. Your thoughts, decisions, and actions begin to align with the affirmation, creating a chain reaction that eventually transforms your life. Faith-filled affirmations also reshape your subconscious. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is spoken with conviction. It simply accepts what it is told repeatedly. When your affirmations are charged with faith, they bypass doubt and imprint new truths on your subconscious, which then influences how you perceive opportunities, how you respond to challenges, and how you carry yourself in the world. Over time, your subconscious becomes a reservoir of empowerment, continuously reinforcing the very reality you have spoken into existence. The key, however, lies in persistence. Faith is strengthened through repetition. Speaking an affirmation once in a moment of hope may uplift you temporarily, but faith grows when you return to your affirmations daily, even when circumstances appear unchanged. Each declaration becomes a brick laid on the foundation of your destiny. With time, those bricks form an unshakable structure that no external storm can destroy. This is why affirmations are both a practice of discipline and of devotion. You are training your spirit to remain aligned with what you know to be true, even when life tempts you to believe otherwise. Faith-filled affirmations also create a spiritual resonance that draws the right people, circumstances, and opportunities into your path. Just as a magnet pulls metal, your words of faith attract alignment with your declarations. When you affirm abundance, doors of provision begin to open. When you affirm wisdom, clarity and guidance flow into your decisions. When you affirm love, connections rooted in authenticity and purpose begin to emerge. Faith positions you to not just hope for these things, but to expect them, and expectation draws them closer. Ultimately, faith-filled affirmations remind you that you are a co-creator of your reality. You do not passively wait for life to unfold. You actively participate in shaping it with your words. Every faith-filled affirmation is both a declaration and a prophecy, speaking to the present, but rooted in the certainty of what is to come. Through faith, your words cease to be empty sounds and become instruments of transformation, echoing into eternity and shaping the very path you walk upon. Consistency in affirmations is the force that transforms fleeting words into unshakable truths. One declaration spoken once may inspire you in the moment, but it is the steady repetition of affirmations that reprograms your mind, reshapes your emotions, and rewires your entire being to align with the reality you are creating. Consistency is what bridges the gap between knowing what is possible and living in the manifestation of that possibility. It is the quiet discipline of speaking life into yourself day after day, long after the initial excitement fades, long after circumstances appear unchanged, and long after doubt tries to creep in. The human mind is naturally resistant to change. For years, it has been conditioned by negative self-talk, fear, and limiting beliefs. One positive statement may sound good, but without repetition, the mind quickly reverts to its old programming. This is why consistency is vital. Every time you repeat an affirmation, you are chiseling away at the hardened walls of old patterns, replacing them with new truths. Over time, the subconscious mind begins to accept these affirmations as reality. And when the subconscious accepts, your behavior, energy, and outcomes naturally shift to reflect this new internal belief. Consistency also develops spiritual resilience. Affirmations are not meant to be magic spells that produce instant results. They are seeds, and like seeds, they require watering, nurturing, and patience. A farmer does not plant once and expect to harvest overnight. He waters daily, trusting the unseen growth happening beneath the soil. In the same way, your affirmations require daily nurturing. Each time you speak them, even when nothing seems to change, you are cultivating unseen progress in your spirit, in your energy, and in your future. Faith and consistency together guarantee that the harvest will come. The power of consistency also lies in rhythm. When affirmations are spoken daily, they create a steady vibration in your life, aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your desired reality. Just as a steady drumbeat sets the pace for a song, consistent affirmations set the rhythm for your destiny. When practiced in the morning, they set the tone for your day. When repeated at night, they imprint themselves on your subconscious, guiding your thoughts even as you sleep. Over time, this rhythm becomes so natural that affirmations cease to feel like effort and instead become the very language of your soul. Consistency is also a test of commitment. It reveals whether you truly believe in the power of your words or whether you only speak them when convenient. To affirm your worth, your success, your health, or your peace daily, even on days you feel unworthy, unsuccessful, unwell, or restless, demonstrates faith that transcends emotions. Emotions may fluctuate, but consistency anchors you in truth. It reminds you that transformation is not about how you feel in the moment, but about the truth you choose to align with regardless of circumstances. There will be moments when consistency feels repetitive, when you question whether your words are making any difference. These moments are the greatest test because they demand trust in the unseen. Just as the body grows stronger not after one workout, but after weeks of consistent training, the mind and spirit grow stronger not after one affirmation, but after many. Consistency compounds. The longer you persist, the deeper the affirmations sink into your subconscious, and the more your outer life begins to align with them. The power of consistency also extends beyond personal transformation. It influences the way others perceive you. When you consistently speak life over yourself, you begin to embody those affirmations in your energy, your confidence, and your presence. People notice the shift. They sense the authority in your voice, the assurance in your actions, and the stability in your spirit. Without even realizing it, your consistent affirmations begin to inspire and uplift others, becoming a source of transformation not just for yourself, but for everyone connected to you. Consistency is not glamorous. It is often quiet, unseen, and uncelebrated. But it is in this quiet persistence that the greatest transformations occur. Affirmations spoken once may encourage, but affirmations spoken daily, relentlessly, and faithfully rebuild the foundation of your identity. With time, they no longer feel like something you are trying to convince yourself of. They become the truth you live, breathe, and radiate. Consistency is the proof of your devotion to the life you are building, and it is the golden key that turns affirmations into reality. Affirmations are powerful, but they are not meant to stand alone. They are designed to work hand in hand with aligned action. Speaking words of life over yourself sets the foundation, but it is the actions you take in response to those words that create tangible transformation. To affirm abundance while living with a mindset of scarcity, to affirm health while continually neglecting your body, or to affirm love while practicing bitterness, is to sabotage the very reality you are trying to manifest. Words set the intention, but actions demonstrate. Every step you take in harmony with your affirmations becomes a declaration to the universe that you believe what you speak. When you affirm success, your actions must reflect discipline, commitment, and perseverance. It is not enough to say, "I am successful," and then live in procrastination or fear. Instead, success must be woven into your choices, how you spend your time, how you approach challenges, how you prioritize growth. Your actions become the evidence of your words. Affirmations program the mind, but aligned actions give that programming a path to materialize. The two must be inseparable, like the breath and the body. There is also a spiritual principle at work here. Affirmations declare what you believe, but actions prove your readiness to receive it. Imagine a farmer declaring every day, I will reap a great harvest, but never planting a seed, never tending to the soil, never preparing for rain. His words, though positive, will never manifest because his actions betray his affirmation. But if that same farmer rises daily, cultivates the land, and prepares for the harvest, his actions align with his declaration, and his faith has a channel through which to manifest. In the same way, your life requires both declaration and demonstration. Aligned action is also what silences doubt. Doubt thrives in passivity. When you speak affirmations but do not act, the mind begins to question the validity of your words, whispering, if this were true, why are you not living it? But when you take action, even small steps, your mind finds reinforcement for your affirmations. Each act becomes proof that your words carry weight. For example, affirming I am confident while taking small courageous actions daily rewires your identity until confidence no longer feels like a statement, but a lived reality. Action also accelerates manifestation. Words set intention in the spiritual and mental realms, but action translates that intention into the physical. To affirm health and also begin exercising, eating well, and resting properly accelerates the transformation because your body receives both the command of your words and the cooperation of your actions. To affirm financial freedom and also practice wise stewardship of resources speeds the process because your actions amplify your spoken intention. Words are like the blueprint, but actions are the builders that construct what you design. It is also important to recognize that aligned action does not have to be grand or dramatic. It can be consistent, simple steps that match your affirmations. If you affirm peace, aligned action may look like setting boundaries, creating time for stillness, or releasing toxic environments. If you affirm wisdom, aligned action may be reading, learning, and seeking counsel. Each small step builds momentum, each choice confirming to your subconscious and to the universe that you are serious about embodying your affirmations. The true harmony of affirmation and action lies in integrity. Integrity is when your words, thoughts, and deeds all move in the same direction. Affirmations align your thoughts, actions align your deeds, and together they form a life of authenticity and power. Without action, affirmations risk becoming wishful thinking. Without affirmations, actions risk becoming directionless effort. But when they unite, they create an unstoppable force that transforms not just your mindset, but your reality. The greatest transformations in life always occur where belief meets behavior. Affirmations ignite belief, but aligned actions fuel behavior. Together, they form a cycle of reinforcement. Words shape your actions, and actions confirm your words until both become a seamless expression of the life you are creating. To affirm boldly is to plant seeds of destiny, but to act in alignment is to water those seeds until they grow into the harvest you envision. Life bends toward the words you speak and the actions you take. Your affirmations are not empty. They are sacred keys that unlock the doors of possibility. But the true power lies in your courage to repeat them with faith, to live them with integrity, and to embody them through action. You are not waiting for your reality to change. You are shaping it breath by breath, word by word, step by step. The world around you will always echo the truth you declare within yourself. So rise each day knowing that your words carry divine authority, and your choices are the proof of your belief. Refuse to shrink back. Refuse to let doubt silence you. Refuse to live beneath the power you were created to walk in. Speak life, act in alignment, and watch your reality transform. For your destiny is waiting to respond to the voice of your faith.